Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to tell you some key differences in speaking English across India and outside of India, and some common words that we use here and the common words that we use across like outside of India. So one thing I wanted to say is like I've recently noticed a lot of people writing these tests like IELTS and TOEFL and all those exams. And whenever they are doing listening tests, they are not able to understand certain words because they don't use it often around our area. So today I thought like maybe I should tell you some of these words and how and what these words are. So what are the major difference that we use in English whenever we are speaking English in India and outside of India? One of the biggest difference I could say would be the term called good name. So this is something that we often use when we are speaking or introducing ourselves to someone like oh, my good name is this. What is your good name? But generally outside of India, the term is just name. They don't use good name, though it's not like incorrect by any means. This is like a general term that we in India mostly use, but outside of India it's just name. Same like this is another word is cousin or cousins. So in India, we kind of use cousin like cousin brother, cousin sister, like all those cousins. But outside of India, the word just stands as cousin as a whole, like cousin. They don't use cousin brother and cousin sister. Sorry about the noise. It's like airplane. I'm very close to the airport, so you can hear the jet engine. Uh, Cousin. So we don't use the word like the cousin brother over there, like cousins. The real reason is for like it is because like India has a large population, and because of the population, and our families are also big. So in each family, like there are like a lot of people inside the family, and even like many of us may have like let's just say 5 or 6 cousins. But across outside of India, especially in the UK and Americas, like they generally has like 1 or 2 cousins at tops. So they just use the word cousin or cousins instead of cousin brother and cousin sister. Now, for the third thing that I would like to say is like how we like tell our classes. Like when we are in school, we kind of mention it like first standard, second standard, third standard, all those things. But outside of India, especially in the UK and the US, they kind of generally define these classes into three main categories. They're like junior high school, like junior. Then there is middle, and finally there is high school. Here in India, we have in India we kind of have like what do we call as primary school, high school, and then higher secondary. But over there, junior school is what they call as like primary school, and middle school is what they call our high school, and the high school is what the higher secondary stands for. It's basically like when they say where their classes are, they might differentiate like saying like they might be studying in junior high school year one or year two or year three or middle school year one, year two, year three. That's how they introduce. Now they also sometimes use the word like first grade, second grade, third grade. It's not incorrect by any means, but this is how they generally start to differentiate. And now for high school, it's higher secondary. I think it's about 3 years over there. So it's the same as what we call as the 11th and 12th in India. So high school for them is like basically 11th, 12th, and even 10th is also involved, I think, in there. So it's after high school they go to college, just like we here goes to college after higher secondary. So this is another difference they use between like India and abroad. And one more thing I wanted to say is the word called resume. Now, resume is a common word. It's kind of used everywhere across the world. But if you end up in Britain or UK, they sometimes told by the term biodata. So this is has same meaning as a resume. Also in Europe, they kind of use the word called CV. which is also same as a resume, the word same meaning as with the resume, so it's kind of all the same thing. And another thing that is kind of like Indianized version of English that we use, especially when we are talking about numbers, there is also one like that, and that is we use the words like lakh and crore. So as you might know, this word does not exist outside of India. This is a pretty Indian word to begin with. Sorry, this itch. And this what is a lakh? Like lakh is basically what they call 100,000. So they don't stop it right at like 10,000. They go one beyond the 100,000. 100,000 is what they call a lakh. And what is a crore there? Crore is what they call what's 10 million. So you might be asking, what is a million then? The million is basically what 10 lakh stands for, is a million. Or if you want to make it million, if you want to make it more easier, you just need to know a million consists of 6 zeros and like after the one. So you can easily differentiate. So they don't use a word like lakhs and crore. They tend to use words like millions and go up like 9 zeros, it becomes billion and all those words. Whereas we use the words like crores and lakh. So when you're going outside, when they say like 100,000, 200,000, it's kind of like what this is what they mean. It's like lakh, it's just going up and up. And when you talk million, it's like 10 lakh. So millions of years ago, it's like 10 lakh years and years. That's what they are trying to say there. So I hope you understand this, what this million and 100,000 and lakh and crore, all those things. Now, there are many such words that we Indians use from our Indianized English and a lot of words that foreigners use in their own way. So if you're interested in such words and if you want to know many of these words, please let us know. Maybe I might make another part two if you like really suggest me in the comments what kind of English. Also,